Welcome back to another episode of Pants Picks. This is where I go through an NFL team's season and pick the probability in which I think they're going to win each game, each week, week 1 to week 18, and at the end, I'll have a win total that I can compare with Vegas odds, as well as compare with Sears and Roebuck catalog collector, Bill. Bill, how many catalogs do you have you collected over the years?
I think it's countless at this point.
Wow. Phil, did you have to build an addition onto your home to store them?
You know, back in the day, you could actually order full-size barns out of that catalog, and that's what I did to store all of my catalogs.
Look at that. You said, Sears and Roebuck, you're making it super convenient for me. I'll order you the barn, and I'll fill it with your catalogs. Wow. What a dream that is. Any year in particular that was your favorite?
Probably 1968.
I was going to guess 60s. So, yeah, good call on that. Well, speaking of, who do we have this week?
Today we have the Green Bay Packers, 13-4, leading the NFL last season in wins. Key departure from the squad this year was Devontae Adams moving over to the Raiders, leaving Allen Lazard as the number 1 in Green Bay. With an aging wide receiver room, does Aaron Rodgers have what it takes to win his 3rd consecutive MVP, which hasn't been done since 1997 by, you guessed it, Brett Favre?
Ooh-wee! Brett Favre. Wow. So I guess he's going to keep it in the family. All right. Very good. We're here in beautiful, historic Lambeau Field, and we are going to look at the schedule. There it is. Beautiful, the 2022 schedule. The Green Bay Packers opening week 1 at Minnesota. Let's go with a 50-50. Minnesota's the one team to beat, or is the one team to legitimately beat them last year in the playoff or in the regular season. The Packers traded with them 1-1, and then they also lost to Detroit in the final game of the season, which I think was a lot of sitting for their stars, including Aaron Rodgers. But this was their only legitimate division loss last year, and I think the Minnesota Vikings have a chance, but I do think the Green Bay Packers will most likely take this game in Minnesota. But revamp, new coach, see if they can do it. Week 2, hosting Chicago, 100%. Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago. Sorry to say. He said it. I agreed with it. That's it. Week 3 at Tampa Bay. 50-50. And I'm going to give it to the older quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, not quite senior enough for me. I think I'm going to go with experience over youth on this one. Bill, are you going with experience or youth on this one?
I would have to probably go with the... Brady just has way more targets on that team.
Yeah.
Both have decent defenses. I think the extra weapons out wide is what gets that done for Brady.
All right. So experience. Yeah, I agree. He definitely has the better offensive setup at this point. But you know, and it's at home, and it's the weather. The Florida weather is pretty brutal for people who do not live there and practice outside there very often, so it can be a factor. Week 4, hosting New England. Let's go with a 75%. I think New England's not good enough to push it to a 50% at home or away in Lambeau. Week 5, hosting the Giants. 100%. I don't think the Giants have a chance over the Green Bay Packers. Week 6, hosting New York Jets, back-to-back New York teams, and it's going to be back-to-back 100%. They have a bit of a cake schedule besides Tampa Bay. Even Minnesota isn't great, but the Green Bay Packers will continue to roll. Week 7 at Washington. We'll go with a 75%. Washington has some sort of chance. They'll be at home. And it could they could give them a shot, but they probably will not. Week 8 at Buffalo. Here we go. Back to some difficult schedule here after the Giants, the Jets, and the Commanders. Let's go with a 50-50, and I'm going to give it to Buffalo. At home on Sunday Night Football, Bill, Allen, Rodgers, who takes this one in the night in Buffalo? in October.
Yeah, week 8 at Buffalo. I also had 50-50. I think this is going to be a really close game. It is the eve of Halloween, and you know what the weather is like in Western New York around that time. I think this is going to be a sloppy game. I'm actually going to give it, I think, to the Packers.
Oof. Can't argue with you, really. That's a tough one to pick. They're both cold weather teams too. There's really no no bonus for the Packers in this, or for the Bills at home. Packers play in Green Bay. It's just as bad there. So that's going to be an exciting one. I mean, Bills, Packers, that's never really been a notable matchup, but today, or on week 8, that's going to be this season will be notable. Those are two very good teams. Week 9 at Detroit. 100%. Detroit won't have a chance. Week 10, hosting Dallas. I'm going to go with a 50%, but I'm going to give it to Green Bay. Bill, 50% against Dallas, or did you give him a 75?
And that one, I also had 50-50. I would still give it to the Packers.
Yes. All right. Week 11, hosting Tennessee. I'm going to give him a 75. 75% over Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee can keep up with Aaron Rodgers. The defense of the Packers was 9th last year, and I think they'll continue to be good. Week 12 at Philadelphia. 50-50. I'm going to give the nod to the Eagles, though. It could be a cold game. Running the ball might be a little more important, and I think the Eagles will be better at running the ball. Bill, Philadelphia at home against the Packers. Do they have a chance?
Yeah, I maybe before you said that would have taken the Packers, but I think a little RPO.
Yeah.
And Eagles get it done.
Ooh, hey, that's fun. Week 13 at Chicago. 100%. I don't think Chicago has got the players to compete, and it's too much difference between the quarterbacks as well. Week 14 bye. Very late bye. Holy moly. Week 15, hosting the Rams. One more time. Week 15, hosting the Rams.
Pick.
Much better. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we have.
Keep that.
There we go.
Yeah, I like the voice, though. Maybe next time you just do it all in the voice.
Just do it all through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, week 15. Let's hear it.
Yeah, Monday Night Football versus the Rams. This game is currently even, shaping up to be a potential NFC Championship game late in the season. Rodgers, Stafford, coming off the late season bye. Rodgers is going to feel like a new man.
Ooh.
And Green Bay is going to get this done. Rodgers is going to do everything in his power to solidify his 3rd consecutive MVP. And it's going to be a shootout, and he's going to just keep it rolling.
Wow. I tend to agree. 50% for me, Packers to win. I think at home, it gives them a lot of boost. It's tough to go into Lambeau and take a win unless it's in the playoffs. Am I right? But yeah, it's going to be really difficult for the Rams to take this one in the regular season in Lambeau. Give it 50%, but definitely give it to the Packers. Week 16 at Miami. Let's go. Week 16 at Miami. We're going to go... Man, this is tough. 50-50. I think Miami can give them a run for the money, but the Packers will still most likely win this game. They're on the higher end of the 50-50. Week 17, hosting Minnesota.
Pick.
Is also a hot pick. Bill, what makes this one a hot pick?
It is their last, end of the year division rivalry matchup with the Vikings. The Vikings are going to be a bubble team at this point. I expect a classic frozen tundra game. New Year's Day, a late field goal wins this. Green Bay wins, but they do not cover.
Okay. I'm actually going to go a little further than you on this one, and I'm going to take Green Bay 75%. I don't think Minnesota has the ability to keep up with them in Lambeau late in the season. And then I'm going to finish it off here. Week 18, hosting Detroit, 75%. There's a possibility they're not trying too hard, and the Packers are going to take that one over Detroit pretty easily if Aaron Rodgers is playing. If he's not playing, then, then they'll let Detroit take it, just like they did last year. There's a chance that Detroit would win. Detroit won the last game of the season last year because Aaron Rodgers did not play. All right, let's add them all up. See what the win total is. Bills odds, my odds, Vegas odds, bringing it up. Ooh, okay. Ha-ha. Yeah, Green Bay. Bill, I'm going to ask you this before I say anything. Are you shocked by how high I picked them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only 100 I had was late in the season versus Detroit. I had a lot of 75s, but I'm surprised that you were so confident in those early on 100s.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Giants.
Yes, I was going to say that was probably the one that I was most, and also Bill's Giants fandom is showing now. But I did that one was the most. I don't know about the 100%, but then I gave it to him anyway. The Jets, I do think the Jets are a weaker team than the Giants. The Bears are a weaker team. The Lions are a weaker team. And then the Bears, the second time, are a weaker team. So that's why they're just, these games haven't been close. They win these games every single year. I think Davante Adams is not going to make as much of a difference as you think. Kind of goes to what a philosophy that I believe is that when you have a great quarterback and you have a very level team, even if you do lose one of your best receivers, the team is still very, very good as Davante Adams is. The defense is also quite good. 9th ranked defense last year. If you're fielding Aaron Rodgers, who's a good quarterback that will also not make mistakes, and then you're putting a good defense out there, a lot of these teams do not have a chance. And another big thing that explains my higher total on this team, which doesn't necessarily mean I think they're better than teams like Tampa Bay or better than teams like even the Rams or Kansas City. I don't necessarily think that, but I do think that this strength of schedule matters. Chicago twice, Detroit twice, Giants and Jets, and then even the Patriots maybe, the Dolphins maybe. They're not the greatest teams, and Tennessee is not the greatest team in my opinion either. So they can really get a lot of, and Minnesota Minnesota's not the greatest team, so they've really been able to get away with a lot of stuff. I think. They'll get more wins, and they've been a 13-win machine for the past couple of years, and I think it just continues that they could be a 13-win team. Do I bet the over, though, is the main question, and I say probably, but it's really hard to pick an over on a team that is so dependent on their great quarterback, that is especially in the later years of his career. We've seen what these Packers look like. It was pretty much the end of Mike McCarthy, was seeing what happens when Aaron Rodgers gets injured and seeing how the team plays. They miss the playoffs and they really drop down. So if you're betting the Vegas odds, you're betting on the probability in which you think Aaron Rodgers will miss significant time, I think. If he plays the whole season, I think that over is an easy bet. If he does not, that over becomes much, much more difficult because there's no way they're winning 11 games if Aaron Rodgers, is tearing his ACL in the first 3 games. So you can make the decision on whether or not you think that that's worth it. Probably he's had some injury issues because, especially now that he's older, I'm not sure. But if Aaron Rodgers plays every game, I would 100%. If someone told me, I can guarantee you Aaron Rodgers will play every game, I'd say absolutely on the over. But Bill is more of a 10.75. Are you in any direction on this, or I guess which one would you lean more over or under?
Yeah, I think the gravity pulls it down below. I would not bet this one. I think it's too close. I think with Jordan Love, they could potentially win games in the beginning of the season. If Rodgers were to get injured late in the season, they got some difficult matchups. But I think that this Packers team, they did. So I got one for you. Devontae Adams is gone. Does that help Rodgers with his MVP candidacy?
Ooh.
Because he doesn't have him there anymore. He's got to do more with the ball now. Does that play into the storyline and help him out in that regard? I mean,
I
that
think,
late buy is kind of nice.
yeah, I think so. I think if they win 13 again, which could very easily be the best record in the league, and he, has less than 10 interceptions and passes for over 4,500 yards and 35 touchdowns, I think it would be considered pretty unbelievable that he could lose his best receiver and then continue rolling. And he has actually proven to win more often than not without his best receivers. That hasn't been. It's not like without Devontae Adams on the field, because he has been injured. That the Packers are all of a sudden this fringe playoff team from perennial 1 seed. That's not really the case. So I would expect, actually, and I think they're really strong candidates for number one seed in the NFC and possibly best record in the NFL as they were last year. It's an easy schedule, and I don't think Devontae Adams is going to make as big of a difference. The defense is solid, and Aaron Rodgers will continue to do his thing. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers win the MVP again, because it just seems like he wins it in the same exact way without taking the step even higher, where it's like passes more towards 5,000 yards or something like that. Like, I'd really love to see that. But yes, he might get a little boost from losing his number one receiver, and he could win MVP out of I almost felt like he won MVP last year out of default. The team won more games, and Mahomes and Allen kind of had up and down years, and I did feel like it was kind of robbed from Tom Brady. I thought Tom Brady could have been the MVP over Aaron Rodgers, but he was not. But tell us what you think. Do you think I'm completely insane for picking almost 2 games over the Vegas odds? Or do you think it's insane that the Vegas odds is only 10.5? I lean towards the Vegas odds being 10.5 mainly because of possibility of injury. It's hard to go any higher than that. I believe the highest odds of any team was 11.5. So it isn't that high, even though a lot of teams do win 13 games. Every season someone wins 13 games, or possibly even 14 or higher. But is it going to be the Green Bay Packers this year? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Go through the season, 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100% on which games you think they're going to win. I think your games you're going to lose, which things you're going to be splits. At the end of it, come up with a win total, compare it with us, and compare it with Las Vegas. Maybe you can make your own decision on who to bet for, who not to bet for, and you can tell us why. Tell me how stupid I am or smart. I picked the smart one. Tell me how smart I am. But if you're going to tell me how stupid I am, at least be honest about it. Tell me how stupid I am about picking 12.25. Tell me how smart Bill is for being a 10.75. And tell us what you came up with. What game are you most excited about? What are your hot picks? The games you're looking forward to, the things you want to watch each week, the games that you're most excited about, maybe towards the end of the season when they're playing the Rams at home. That's a big game. Or maybe they're going to have a rougher season. They're actually going to be playing for the division against Minnesota, because Minnesota's going to pop off this year and really take the lead. I don't know. Let us know. And of course, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.